guys, and welcome to another super edition of the Scholars Diary. Is your favorite scholars in the house? Anu and
Maiwa, whatever that is.
Right, and today we're talking to you guys about your university applications. So you have made your Chevening applications, for your scholarship. What about your university applications? So yeah.
Okay, basically, at this point, you already know the 3 universities you are planning to apply to, or you are applying to, or that you have applied to. These universities, of course, are not going to change. No. Of course, you have chosen the 3 universities you are applying to. I'm perhaps certain that you have started your application, and if you've not, it's also fine. It's okay. However, we are bringing you tips on what and how you must go about this to get, of course, optimum results. Now, the first thing to note about your university application is to go through the requirements.
Yeah.
So, what is this school looking for?
Yeah.
There are schools that they want only first-class students. There are schools who want only 2-1. There are schools who perhaps don't care.
Upper.
Of whatever that is. And there are schools who perhaps don't care about it, but they want professional experience to show that you can undertake the course you are applying for. So, of course, the first thing to know, in fact, you must know it like back of your palm.
Don't assume.
Every of the requirements that your school needs.
Yeah, and in line with that, you should also know that as you write your IELTS, academic IELTS as your English language requirements for your Chevening application, you should also know that most universities actually accept IELTS, but the scores that you are expected to or required to get in the exams vary from university to university. So some would say 7.5 or nothing, but others will say maybe 6 or 6.5. So you also need to check that carefully and use it to prepare for your IELTS exams.
And following up on that, some universities actually would say that if you went to a school, if you are from a country where the language of instruction is English language, you could just bring in your senior school English results.
Yeah.
However, as good as that may sound, Chevening still needs you to write IELTS, so don't rule it out.
Yeah.
Then the season of essays is actually not over.
We have new essays to write.
Exactly.
So for university applications, most universities would require you to write essays. Might be 1, might be 2. So you need to prepare, for that. Just as good as you wrote your Chevening application essays, you also need to put in your best foot forward. And different universities will usually require, like they have different expectations of what they want to see in your essays.
Exactly. Speaking of that, of course, the most important one which you find across every university is your statement of purpose.
Yes.
Why do you want to take this course at our school? Now, when you get to a place where they, of course, tell you to fill in your statement of purpose and all of that, the first thing you should look at the requirement. What are they asking me to write? So a school might say simply, why do you want to study this course? Another school would say, what professional background do you have that makes you suitable for this course? What academic background? Like whatever those fine details that they put there, take note of every one of them, and of course make sure that by the time you're done with your statement of purpose, you have answered every of the questions that came up in the course of it. So statement of purpose is actually like the most important part of your university application. It is the game changer. It is the one who decides. It is the part of it that decides whether you're chosen or whether you're not. Of course, your academic background, your professional background would matter. But when you are fixing up your story, what do you want to use this for? Are you the kind of person they want on this program? You have to put your best
foot forward. Okay, so the next thing we'll be talking about is application fees. So how do you deal with application fees? There's some universities, especially the Russell Group universities, that require some sort of payment of application fees. So how do you handle that? You really want to go, to this school, you selected it in your Chevening application, but they're asking you to pay some money. So what do you do?
Well, first, now when you there are two kinds of fees that you come across. The first is the one you have to pay before the submission of your application. Now that, of course, since you've chosen these universities, it's like you're stuck with them.
Yeah.
So you have to find a way to pay the fees. Of course, sometimes I think it ranges between from £50 to 500 or thereabouts. Yeah. So anywhere you fall in within that, try as much as possible to, if you are really keen about going to that university, get the fees and put it in. However, the second fee, this one comes after they've given you the admission.
Yeah.
So they say you pay an acceptance fee of sometimes £1,000, sometimes £2,000, and in some cases it can actually go as high as say £3,000. Wow. And if you want the scholarship as much as I think you do, you might not have that money to give out at this time. And if you don't, it's not a problem. For many of them, they say that you should pay up before July 2018, maybe July 31st, 2018. They have set dates for these things. And I am almost certain that by that time, Chevening would have given you exactly whether you made it through or you didn't. Yeah. So if you made it through, you just need to mail them and tell them that, yes, I made it, I'm a Chevening scholar, and blah, blah, blah. And they waive that for you. Chevening takes care of it. So, but this is not time to panic about any of those fees. Calm down. Relax.
Especially if you already have your admission, and they're asking you to pay that to secure it. And Chevening will always advise you not to pay any money while you're waiting, for them to get back to you. Because say they don't select you at the end of the day and you can't fund yourself so that's going to be your loss. So you might just want to take a chill pill.
And about the applications also, you will need references. And the way this one works is such that they will just, many schools anyway, not all, many schools will just tell you to type in the email address of your reference, of the person referring you, then the maybe phone number, relationship you have with them and all of that. So you don't get to see or have any kind of contact with the reference, with the word, with the recommendation that the person is putting in for you. So it is in your best interest that whoever you are putting up, you have spoken with them, you have told them the kind of recommendation you would want at this time. So of course, if you've done that, then you can fix all of that in. They'll send emails and it would that would be fine. Yeah, and about I think basically finally which is the most important part is what happens when you get admission. Now, of course, for many of you, I of course I've spoken to a number of people who already have their admission in place. So what happens if you are given
another course? Yes, because that happened to me. Fortunately I had, because Chevening will ask you to select 3 schools, and at the point when they were getting back to me with that unstable news, I was already accepted in some other universities, so I ignored them. But sometimes you don't have that choice, especially if you're the kind of person that chose the same university and maybe different courses. You don't have that luxury of that flexibility. So what do you do?
I think that once you are in that situation, of course, you've gotten a mail saying that you've gotten an admission. In fact, some people are already jubilating this school has given me admission, but they've given you admission for a course that you did not register with Chevening. If you've gotten that, no, brother, you've not gotten admission. So it's either you send them a mail saying that this is not the course you want, this is the course you want. In fact, you could go as far as saying that you have a sponsor who is only going to pay for this course that you requested for, not the one they've given you. Some universities may be magnanimous enough to change the course for you. Some others would not. So whatever the case is in your situation, just make sure that you sort it out. If they don't change it, of course, then you have 2 other options. to look out for and ensure that you get the courses that you applied for. Okay.
Yeah, but there might be, you know, another scenario where you were given another course other than the course you had listed for, you know, in your Chevening application. If this happens before your interview, you would have an opportunity to change the course. Yeah, you have that opportunity. They usually ask you at the interview stage if there's any last minute change you want to make, because sometimes you think maybe this is the course for you, and then they offer you something else that actually is better, you know, is a better choice for what your career goals, your professional goals are. You feel, oh, you made a mistake or you want to change it. So if this happens before your Chevening interview, you will have a last minute opportunity. At least that was what happened to us. And we think that, you know, is the case. Why not say for this year though? But if you have that opportunity to change it, then
please
go for it.
Yes. There's also this very tricky part that I like to talk about, which is about. Of course, we spoke about requirements and of course understanding what the requirements are. However, you shouldn't be limited by the requirements. So for a number of persons, they say that this is what they want, and based on your papers, based on your certificate, based on what you have, you don't have that qualification. Of course, it doesn't put you off totally. Of course, still putting, of course, you've written this university as the one you want, so you almost don't have a choice. So go ahead, make an application, make a strong case, especially in your statement of purpose. Speak about why you must get this course, and once you've done that, you're good to go.
Yeah. So guys, I hope this video helps you with your university applications, and we wish you guys the best. Remember to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Drop us your comments. We love to hear from you. Thank you to everyone who keeps commenting. We see you from different parts of the world where you're saying hi to us.
And if you have anything you want us to address, please get in touch with us.
Yay. Bye.